All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the PWCC Weekly Live Vintage Card Auction. We're here building collections, not portfolios. I'm Rob Gerard, your sports card therapist, and with me, I have my co-host Jonah, and he's going to be with me for the entire episode, which is freaking awesome. Excited about that. And as we do each week, well, let me just say, this show is brought to you in partnership with PWCC. So a major shout out to them and their staff. And as we do each week, we're focusing primarily on sports cards that are from 1979 and older. So that's the T206s, the Cracker Jack cards, the Gaudy sets, the Play Ball sets, the first ever Bowman and Top sets, and everything in between. Don't forget, 10:30 Eastern time, which is 1 hour from now. That is when you need to be paying attention. That's when all the bids count. Once that happens, you got to have your bid in. All right. Also, stick around because once the auction's over, I'm sure Jonah and I will be hanging out for a couple minutes, just talking shop, talking cards, talking hobby, all that good stuff. Also, if you cannot watch the whole stream with us, or if you miss a week, do not worry. All the streams get saved to my YouTube page. Just go under the live tab and you will see them. Also, if there's a card that you want me to pull up so that we can discuss it, just mention it in the comments and we will make sure to pull it up and do so. Here we are, July 9th, summertime, baby. Nationals a few weeks away. That's all that's on my mind. Jonah, how are you? How you doing?
Doing good, Rob. Just had a nice week off work, so enjoyed the 4th with some family and friends, so doing great.
Nice, nice. So week off of work, what's that like? I have no idea because I haven't seen a week off work in forever. Although I am going to be taking a week off for national, so I'm looking forward to that. You were telling me beforehand that you just went to a friend's wedding.
Yep, I just got back from my friend's wedding in Georgia here, and I was in the groomsmen's party, so had a good time and happy for them.
Oh man! So hold on. So you were in the wedding party and everything.
Yeah, I was.
Man, there's a whole commitment that goes with that, right? I mean, the group chat probably started a year ago talking about bachelor party, talking about this, talking about that. Then before you know, you gotta get fitted for your tuxes. You gotta make
Yeah,
sure you get fitted for the tuxes in time. You gotta make sure you return the tuxes. It's like
yeah.
it's a
Had to
whole
had to
ordeal.
return it today, one day after, or it's a fee. So
Oh listen, man, I hear you. My brother just got married a month ago, so I went
mhm,
through I went through the whole thing, same thing. And
yeah,
weddings are awesome. I think the lead up to it can be kind of like, I don't know, I'll speak for myself, kind of annoying, kind of like, oh my God. But then when you're there and you realize, like, okay, you know what? I'm sharing. I've been asked to share probably one of the most important days of this person's life with them. So,
right.
all in all, I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, man. Um, so I know you sold the 54 Aaron, right? You sold the 54 Aaron a couple,
Mhm.
probably about a month or two ago. Have you
Yeah, about a month now.
have you made a pickup since then, or are you just quietly waiting? Because I haven't seen you post any new pickups.
Yeah, I'm just quietly waiting. I think I know what I wanna get with it, like a really nice Jackie rookie or a 52 Jackie, I think. And then if another nice Aaron comes around that I really love, I'll also, of course, want one of those.
Wow. So, all right. So let me ask you, if you had your choice right now, say you're going to spend the same amount of money, say 12K, right? There's two cards in front of you, 12K for the grade. Are you going with the 48-49 Leaf, or are you going with the 52 Tops?
If they're both cards I want at the same exact time, I think I'll pick the Leaf just because it's his rookie, and I think it would have the potential to maybe increase more than the 52 Tops, but I really don't know if there's that much difference between the two. Like if a 52 comes up, that's what I want. I would get that first, and then hopefully, down the line, I can get the other one that I don't get.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's just for ha-has, let's look this up. Okay, so a 48 Jackie and a PSA 2.
It's like 10K, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 10K. So last sold. It's hard to go by last sold versus value, but so right around 10K. That's what I'm seeing. Right around 10K for a PSA 2. Now, for a 52 tops Jackie and a PSA 2, let's
It's like
see.
6 to
We are
7.
looking at it's relatively cheaper. Last sold was 6K.
Yeah.
So it's right around 6,500 or so. So a PSA 3 is around 8K, and then there's a huge jump from between a 3 and a 4. So you're saying you'd rather probably at this point have a Leaf in about a 2 grade than a 52 tops and a 3 grade.
I think budget-wise, I think I would be, like, in the 3 range for a Leaf, and then a 4 probably for the 52.
Okay, yeah, because I just came up with the figure of 12K,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. So but you'd go with the Leaf.
Yeah, I think it has more iconic status just from how much we value rookie cards, but then you have, 52 tops is top
I
3
tell
set of
you,
all time, so
there's
it also has
great
that kind of
arguments to
feel.
be made for both in terms
Yeah.
of which one is more iconic for him and which one long-term value
Mhm.
you'd be looking at, right? And I think when it comes to the 48 Leaf too, obviously, I'll be Captain Obvious here. Um, it all comes down to the registration, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the
The print
48 Leaf,
quality on those
just the
is
print, yeah,
yeah,
100%. So it definitely comes down to the registration. And with the 52 tops, I mean, that
the
set's
centering.
only going to become more valuable over the
Yeah.
years. It's like and the thing is too, the difference between Jackie and Mays continues to grow. So Jackie has the clear second place,
Mhm.
and I don't think Mays
Yeah.
will ever
I mean,
close the gap.
I'll just say this for, like, my friends are young, I'm young. People know who Jackie Robinson is, but, like, they're not gonna know who Willie Mays is unless they are fans of baseball.
Yeah,
But Jackie just, as everyone knows, he transcends sports into mainstream culture, so that's why
yeah,
I just think long term it will continue to be an increase in gap there.
yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Well said, man. Well said. So, all right. So, we talked cards for a couple of minutes. We're gonna be talking cards for the rest of the night. That's without a doubt. Um, but let's get into this. Okay, we are looking at a really cool auction. I love the stuff that is featured here tonight.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm right here. We have some really, really interesting pre-war, and I mean like,
Yeah,
late 1800 stuff. So right here is an 1878 Forbes H804-6 Muff.
yeah. I looked up, the set, Rob, because I never seen it. I don't go back this far usually, besides, like, Allen and Ginter, so
Yeah.
this is a 6-card checklist. There's only 6 cards, and it's, like, a fly ball, a foul, home run, one called Judgment, Muff, and Twist,
Wow. Wow.
and
So 6 card set. So I'm
uh-huh.
curious how difficult what the pop counts are. I'm curious how difficult it would be to build that 6 card set. But regardless, I mean a pretty
Yeah, and then, if you look at that image, it kinda looks like these are, like, comic cards, so they're
yeah.
all kind of weird. It kinda looks like the guy's face is like a pig on the front, to me at least.
Well, he's definitely getting hit in the face with a fly ball.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was a lot of balls in the face when I was looking at the set.
Yep, yep. Yeah, so then next we have a handful. We have a bunch of these 1882 Kosak and Company cards. So these Kosak and Company cards, it's pretty it's a pretty interesting set. So they're called Kosak and Company slash circled position trade cards. So circled position. So if you look, they all have that circle on there, and this is part of a baseball comic series of trade cards. And the cards basically featured a variety of funny baseball scenes, and they're slightly larger than postcards, and they have that blue border on all the cards, and it also has the circular backdrop on each card. So they show there's a card of every single position, but from what I saw doing my research, there's no card for a right fielder that has ever been seen. So while there are
Yeah.
9 total cards known to be in the set, there could be 10 if a card of a right fielder ever popped up. But it was from Kosak and Company. They're out of Buffalo, New York. And yeah, just really, I mean, a really historic, interesting set. And that was me just barely scratching the surface with it.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw that there's no right field as well, and then the ninth card is a batter, so it's not the right field position there.
Exactly. Yep. So right here you could see this is and they're supposed to be kind of like funny comic cards, but here's the pitching card right here. And these are all going for relatively low price. Like if someone was interested in, I mean, you look at these pop counts, right? So this
Mhm.
is a PSA 1.5 and this is a pop 1 of 1 with only 7 higher.
Right.
So that would lead me to believe that these pop counts are extremely low.
Yeah.
So this pop count of PSA 1.5, pop 1 of 1, 7 graded higher. This is only at $160 right now.
Mhm.
So I am curious to see where these end. And, that was the reason for us wanting to, go over these and discuss
Yeah.
them real quick.
They have, 8 of them here, right? They're just missing the batter in the
Yep.
auction.
Exactly. Yep.
And then had some pretty cool baseball card history on these cards too. If you click on, I think, all of them except the first one,
Hmm.
if you look at the advertisement on the back, it's by, like, Peck& and Snyder, and they're a sporting goods store, and then they're known for creating the first baseball card ever.
Wow.
It was, like, 1869 card for the Red Sox. That's considered the
Yep.
first
Peck and
baseball
Snyder.
card. Yep. And then they were eventually bought by Spalding because they were a popular sporting goods store back in the day. So I thought that was some pretty cool baseball card history right there.
I know. I agree. I agree. Um, all right. So we have these cards in the auction, which are really fun to see because you don't see ones like this pop up every time. So again, I'm pretty interested to see where this ends. So moving forward, let's see. We have a T206 American. No, sorry, not T206. We have a 1909 E90-1 American Caramel. Christy Mathewson, PSA 4. This sitting at 2500 right now. We have a T206 Chief Bender.
Mhm.
This is the portrait PSA 2 sitting at 230. We have the T206 Ty Cobb bat on shoulder SGC 1.5. Definitely my favorite Ty Cobb T206. This is sitting at 2100 right now.
That
We
one's
have
your favorite, Rob? The bat on shoulder?
oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I like my favorite's the bat off shoulder.
Is it?
Yeah. I like
Listen,
it.
they're
It's pretty similar to that caramel Christy Mathewson in this. Like
yep.
the background has a nice sunset. I just really like the colors on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um So we have a couple portraits right here. We have a green portrait PSA 1 sitting at 3600. We have a red portrait PSA 2 sitting at 3400. We have a Johnny Evers portrait PSA 2 sitting at 340. We have another Johnny Evers with bat wearing the Cubs shirt. That's a PSA 4 with a qualifier of a mark on it. That's sitting at 410. Walter Johnson hands the chest PSA 2 at 1300. We have a Nap Lahoy with bat, polar bear back, SGC 1.5, sitting at 370. We have another Nap Lahoy. This is the portrait PSA 1 at 350. Christy Mathewson, dark cap, SGC 3, sitting at 925. We have an Ed Reagan, Southern Leaguer, Old Mill back, SGC 6, sitting at 775. Trish Speaker, SGC 1.5, sitting at 410, and that is a top 30% eye appeal. Cy Young portrait PSA 2 sitting at 2100. We have a 1910 T3 turkey red Thai Cobb checklist with the checklist back, and this is a SGC 3.5 sitting at 8250. 80. So what do you want to do? You want to go back up to the top, or do you just want to start right with the Cobb? What are you thinking?
Let's start with the Cobb, and then we can go back a little bit because these turkey reds are just. I always stop and stare at them every time I see them. It's just artwork, way better than you can just capture so much more on this huge image size in the T206, and I
I
just
know.
have always loved them.
I know. And being the oversized card, right? Being the oversized, it makes you, you got to figure that you're not going to have nearly as many people bidding on these as maybe if it were a Thai Cobb card, a Thai Cobb T206 or whatever the case. But yeah, so these turkey reds, there were 147 images cards in the set. And the Thai Cobb, Thai Cobb being the biggest,
Yeah.
right? Thai Cobb being the absolute
I mean, this is at like
top dog.
$10,000 right now.
What was that?
It's at 10K right now. They always go for super high price. There's not that
Ooh.
many of them.
Yeah. And just beautiful, beautiful display. I mean, when you look at, imagine this thing just displayed out somewhere, whether if it's in your case, on a table, on your desk.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw some in person was at the Baseball Hall of Fame, and just got to stop and stare at them for a while. They were great. And then this is the same image as that like bat on shoulder that you like too.
Yeah, yeah,
And then it combines with the bat off shoulder like sunset that I like about the other card. So it's just gorgeous.
yeah. And you could see like the old stadium pillars right there, holding up the grandstands in the back. I mean, it just looks unbelievable. Everything about this. I'm just speechless looking at it.
Yeah, the color's really nice on this one in the scan too.
All right, so let's scroll back up to the top and
So,
now, do you have a preference in terms of just eye appeal as far as the Thai Cobbs, whether if it's the portraits, the bat on, the bat off, or the colors?
um, I always like red on cards a lot. It just I don't know. There's something natural about the red. I love how it pops, like the 52 Jackie, the Gouty Ruth, and then the
Mm,
red Cobb. Just always love seeing that. So I think I just visually I like the red better. I know the green is less common and more desirable for that reason.
yeah,
And then, but I think I like the images with the bat more than the portraits. Just it just shows them in their playing state, not all dressed up for a photo. So I think I like those better in general. But
Jonah, you there?
yes, can you hear me?
You there? Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. That might have been my internet. So my apologies to anyone watching.
All good. I was just talking about how I like the action shot with the bat and glove better than the portraits because it's them playing.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure. I mean, that's just definitely
Yeah, I
definitely
think
my preference.
what card history though, everyone always goes after the portraits for whatever reason that is.
So let me get to some comments real quick. So floating heads, I think was referring to taking the week off. You mentioned that you had the week off. He said refresh, recharge. Troy says, "Hey Rob, welcome back." Jonah JB says, when we were talking about the Jackies. 52 Jackie has a little lower pop, but the Leaf has the rookie demand, and that's like what you were saying. Floating Head says that Christie looks nice, and we're definitely going to go back to that. Troy said that my favorite Cobb is also the bat off shoulder, but I would take any of them. Love the turkey red Cobb, he said. Adam in the house, Wise Guy Sports Cards. It's hard to choose your favorite T206 Cobb, so just buy all four. Listen, cards are on Adam. So they say like drinks on the house, cards on Adam, I guess.
Cobb's on Adam.
Yeah, cards on Adam for sure. Appreciate you, Adam. Hope you're doing well tonight, man. So, yeah, I mean, I think if I'm looking at these two cards right here, I'm clearly going to go with the red, right? I'm going to go with the red portrait, the green. It's got some creases right here. Luckily, there's really nothing, no damage on his face or anything like that. So both great looking cards, but this is a newer slab, a newer grade, a newer serial number. It looks like there's more to the card than this. This, like, when you start rounding the corners, it almost looks like the cards look slightly smaller. These corners aren't as rounded, so you could almost feels like there's like slightly more card there.
Yeah, this red one's really centered as well.
Yeah, it's a great looking PSA too. I wouldn't have been mad if they gave it a top 30% eye appeal,
I think it has some pretty big corner wear if you click on the image in
No,
the
for
top
sure,
left,
and
and
it's
then
got a little mark right there on his cheek,
Yeah.
And you never want anything on the face, but there it is. So yeah, there's I think, what surprises me is that here's the green portrait right here, a full grade lower, sitting at more
Same price,
money
yeah.
than the red portrait.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to know exactly what the pop counts are. So I don't know if anyone knows those off the top of their head. If Adam's still watching, I know Adam's probably has pop counts pretty much memorized at this point, but I'd be curious to know,
Yeah, the
what's
difference.
going on there. So next we have these Johnny Evers. So these are some great looking cards. I'd imagine the mark is on the back because I'm not seeing anything right
Yeah.
here. I'm not seeing anything on the front. Great looking portrait. Any thoughts on these?
I think this one just really tells myself how much I like the one with the bat better. I just really like how he looks holding the bat instead of just all dressed up with the photo. It looks like
Yeah.
he's about to slap hit the baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we have the Walter Johnson PSA 2, hands at chest. Good looking card. Definitely not centered. Centering right to left almost looks 80-20. I don't know if I'd be able to get my eyes around that.
Yeah. But
And is that a registration issue? What do you think? Does that look a little fuzzy?
Let's see. Cannot.
It looks a little blurry, his face. I mean, the whole image does. You look at his glove too. His glove looks blurry too.
Yeah, a little off on the registration on that one.
I can't imagine it's a scan. I'm quite certain it's probably the card. I'm not sure what, maybe some of the viewers, if they have another opinion on it, but let's see. So we have a couple Nap Lahoy's right here, and I know there's 4 different ways to say his last name.
I
And
say Lajoie, I think.
there you go, Lajoie. Yeah.
Can we go back to the Chief Bender card?
Did we pass it already?
Yeah, it was right after the Mathewson.
Ah, look at this bad boy. Whoo!
Actually, I didn't know Chief Bender is actually Native American, and that's how he got the name Chief. He did not know that.
Yes.
And then, so he faced some discrimination back in that era for being part Native American. So he could, if you collect kind of players like that, he would definitely be someone on your list you wanna pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely agree. I would absolutely agree. And I tell you what, it almost when you look at a picture of Chief Bender, he is clearly Native American, right? You can clearly tell that he's Native American. I almost feel like this picture here almost, I don't know if I'm just seeing it wrong or if they did it on purpose, but it almost looks like the Native American features of his face are like toned down a bit.
He was mixed, so it might have been like that. His dad was German, it said, and then his
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at pictures, though, I mean,
I
any
haven't seen
any
an
photo.
actual photo of him though.
What was that?
I haven't seen a photo of him, so I wouldn't be able to tell you there,
Yeah.
but it could be. And then something cool about his brother played baseball too, and then his brother was suspended from minor league baseball because he stabbed the manager during a fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just all the stories from the early 1900s are just crazy like that.
Yeah, but imagine how many early stories
Yeah.
have never been told. Because
I
there
just
was
couldn't
no
imagine.
cell phones or Instagram back then. That's for sure.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine a player today like stabbing a coach and just seeing all the craziness that would ensue from that.
Well, listen, before and this shows how I guess young you are, how old I am. I don't know, but anytime I think of a player coach or player manager incident, I always think of Latrell Sprewell when he played for the Golden State Warriors in the mid '90s, and he choked out his coach, PJ Carlesimo. He
Okay.
choked out his coach. I
Wow.
think it was during a practice, and he immediately, I think, got suspended and never came back on the team. And then they traded him to the Knicks. And the guy was a stud. Like the guy could have been on his way to being a Hall of Famer. I don't want to stretch it too much, but he was a stud though. He was a starter on any team in basketball.
Mhm.
If you put him on the Bulls in the '90s, Sprewell probably would have started at some position.
Wow.
So, but yeah. So this is a beautiful, beautiful Christy Mathewson right here. Dark cap, SGC3, sitting at 925 right now. I love the background of the card. Simple blue, simple green, the grass, the sky, nothing more to see
Yeah.
except for him throwing a pitch.
I like the dark cap version better too. He looks different on the white cap version, which is always weird to me.
So his win-loss record, Christy Mathewson, is insane. He was a pitcher. I mean, no pitcher ever moving forward will ever have the kind of statistics that he had. Win-loss record. He was 373. He had 373 career wins. 373 in 188. So just
Wow.
in terms of completed games, he pitched over 550 games. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And he pitched his entire career, except for his final year, with the New York Giants. Final game, boom, final year goes to the Cincinnati Reds. But how incredible, man. I mean, a win-loss pitching record of 373 in 188.
Yeah.
Hands down, I mean, one
That's
of the top pitchers ever in wins and shutouts, ERA, everything. And he was one of the first 5 members elected to the Hall of Fame.
yeah. I wonder how high on the list that win percentage is for a pitcher because that's almost 2 out of every 3 games there.
Gotta be high. Yeah. So, and when we talk about those first 5 players ever elected, I think, a lot of us know, but it's always fun if you don't know, it's always fun to learn. And if you do know, it's always fun to kind of be like, man, that's crazy. But, the first 5 ever players elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame: Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, Walter Johnson.
That section of the Hall of Fame is always really cool to go into to see those 5 together.
Man. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, just something else. So, all right. So we have Ed Reagan, Trish Speaker, we have the Cy Young, and we have the Ty Cobb T3 Turkey Red that we spoke about before. So moving on to the next, let's see what we have here. All right. So next, 1915 Cracker Jack, Charles Comiskey, PSA 2, sitting at
Mhm.
600 right now. 600. Have you ever owned a Cracker Jack card?
I have not. I need to get one of those one day. I always like the look of them. And then I love how they still sell Cracker Jacks at games. And when I went to a Braves game with my girlfriend, I told her how they used to put cards in those and showed her a photo. So that was
Did
fun.
you?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, Charles Comiskey, so he was a player. So he was a
Mhm.
player from 1882 to 1894. So from 1882 to 1894. So he played roughly 13 seasons. Then he was a manager. So he was a player manager through most of that time. So he was a manager from 1883 with some kind of periods of being off all the way through 1894. So another 12 years. Then he bought the Chicago White Sox. So he was the owner of the Chicago White Sox from 1901 to 1931. And as an owner, two-time World Series champion, four-time American League pennant. So,
Yeah.
and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1939.
Yeah.
So,
Part of the famous Black Sox scandal as well.
yep, yep.
I read that he like promised the player a bonus of tens of thousands if he won 30 games, and then the pitcher was at 29 wins, and he benched him so he couldn't get to 30. And then there's also stories that he made the players like pay for their laundry. So that's why they people say that could be, why they took the money in the World Series then.
Wow. Yeah. And I think most baseball fans know Chicago White Sox, Comiskey Park.
Yep.
So you're looking at it right there, Charles Comiskey. There's a lot of history with this gentleman right here, a
Mhm.
lot of history, and in my opinion, will be a really cool Cracker Jack card, a really cool card in general to own. So, man, this
Yeah.
is like it's cards like this, and knowing the history of them and
Mhm.
knowing the history of the people that are on the cardboard, it really makes me like,
Yeah. There's a
that would
there's
be
a
a really
branch
cool
rookie.
addition.
There's a branch rookie as well in the Cracker Jack set, and
Wow. That's
he's
available in this auction?
not in this auction, but just
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
in the set. So I
Yep,
just
yep.
also think it's kind of similar to this one. He's a executive is what he's mainly known for, but he also was a player, and all the history with Branch Rickey, just love it.
Gotcha. So the last sale, first of all, when it comes to I'm just gonna look at PSA twos. Okay, PSA twos. Why PWCC wouldn't put this on there, I don't know. But when it comes to PSA twos of this Comiskey card, it's only a pop 10.
Oh wow,
I mean, it's borderline single digits for all of them. So a PSA 2 is a pop 10, PSA 5 is a pop 12, PSA 7 pop 12, PSA 8 pop 13, PSA 1 pop 8.
yeah. So there's not many at all.
No, no, not at all. I mean, what an unbelievable card with the history of what he did. With the
Hmm.
history of what he did. And even as a player too, with what he did at first base, he kind of like revolutionized first
Yeah,
base. And
I
he
saw that.
was he was just so really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, it said everyone used to play on first base before he was playing off first base. Just interesting that he started that trend. Now, of
Yeah,
course, makes total sense. Why would you play so close to the foul line? You got to cover more ground.
yeah, yeah. So, all right. So let's go to some comments real quick. Tom Grant, he was talking about a card we were looking at. He said too small to see on my screen. Richard Price in the house. What is up? He says I like the green portrait cob with a color match green sovereign back. Oh man, that's like next level when you're color matching the back. I love it. Tom Grant says note the Maddie Ann Johnson and no Cy Young. Matthew, 1956 Tops guy. What is up, my friend? He says, uh-oh, I see a churchman. Listen, these churchmans, they're always popping up in these auctions, you know? Tom Grant says, Maddie and Johnson are a cut above Yount. Matthew says, I'm not sure. There's a better image of Ruth on a card. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Sanella Margarine image is really cool too with him.
Yeah.
So I agree. Sometimes he's, some of these low key cards for sure. Matthew says the White Sox will always play at Comiskey in my mind. It used to be Comiskey. Now it's the new Comiskey. U.S. Cellular. No thanks. Yeah, I didn't know they named it U.S. Cellular,
Yeah, I
but
didn't know that either.
bummer. But yeah, I mean, what a beautiful card, man. I think so far this has been my favorite card that we've seen so far.
Yeah. What's the do you still have the pop report pulled up? Could you
Yeah.
look up the Branch Rickey?
Of what?
Could you look up Branch Rickey as well?
Is it from the 15 set?
Yeah.
Branch Rickey. Okay. Which grade?
Just in general, the total pop.
Total pop, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
have
What's like a
that
2, a low grade?
access now, but I'm looking at PSA 3, pop 6.
Okay. So those are super super low pop as well. I don't see
P-
them often compared to the players.
PSA 2, pop 4.
Yeah.
PSA 1.5, pop 2. So yeah, PSA 6, pop 4.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're not
Cool.
looking at much at all when it
Yeah.
comes to that. So here is the churchman that Matthew was discussing. I mean, one of the greatest images of Babe Ruth on a card. Look at this. I love the dust being kicked up right
Mhm.
here, right around his shoe from where his
Yeah.
plant foot is, and he's swinging. Or just beautiful catcher, the ump. It's got everything. Mm. I love how it's horizontal, so it catches everything too.
Yeah.
Because
You
if this image was vertical, you think about if they
yeah, you couldn't
decided to
do it.
make this a vertical image, you would have, which there's nothing wrong with it getting the fans in the background, right? But it would be mostly fans.
Yeah. It can
You
only
would
be like one person
It would
next
be
to you.
very cramped. What the thing is, in order to fit all three of these individuals,
Yeah.
you would have to make it to where it's like really
Yes.
high up, like panned out high up. It would be mostly crowd. But here, someone had the foresight, I think, to really just, ensure that this image went on a horizontal card.
Mhm.
So this is a PSA 3, and this is sitting at 900 right now. 900. So I am curious because it doesn't say what the pop is, what the pop report is, uh, population of those. Sometimes PWCC will put that, sometimes they won't. So
I think it's pretty high on the Churchman, like high for the era.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, not coming up. I'm not getting a pop report. I'm not getting a pop count on that unfortunately, but all right, so moving along. So we have a 33 Gaudy Jim Bottomley PSA 4 top 15% eye appeal. This is just a great image of Bottomley here. He's sitting there holding the bat,
Mhm.
hat crooked, looking into the camera. Just a great image. Then here we have Rogers Hornsby PSA 5 sitting at 1625 right now with this 33 Gaudy. Obviously, it's Rogers Hornsby, so a legend like that. But I just do not like the horizontal image. I don't like how they place this.
Yeah, it looks weird with the big league, like vert the other way as well. It would be better if it was across the bottom
Yeah.
horizontal,
Oh,
like
I
the
agree.
image.
I agree. Yeah. But I mean, when you think about Rogers Hornsby, okay, what an absolute
Yeah.
legend,
He gets
legend. Okay,
he's really underappreciated in the
oh,
hobby.
so undervalued, so underappreciated. Lifetime batting average of 358.
Yeah.
He was only 70 hits short of 3,000.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, he went on to manage over 1,500 games. So he played in the big leagues for 23, I want to say 23 seasons he played in the big leagues. Then, so he was also a player manager, obviously. I think a lot of us know that. But as a manager, he also managed on and off for 30 years.
Oh,
I mean, World Series champion, two-time NL MVP, two-time Triple Crown,
yeah.
seven-time National League batting champion.
Yeah,
Man,
you can kinda compare him, I think, to, like, Ted Williams with the average that he had, but you never hear about him for some reason. I don't know why that is. Him and Jimmy Fox, I think, just get overshadowed a lot from that
I
era.
mean, the thing is, I think there were a lot of absolute legends that got overshadowed playing in the Ruth era. If
Yeah.
you were playing in the same era as Babe Ruth, you're going to get overshadowed and overlooked. Same thing
Mhm.
with the NBA in the 90s.
Yep.
Very difficult to get the type of admiration. I don't know if that's a word I want to use, but when you're playing in with Michael Jordan, right? You
Yeah.
look at, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, all these just absolute dominant figures who people barely talk about
Yep.
because of Jordan. And Babe Ruth had that ability to do that. And I think when you look at the 50s and 60s, I think that
It's like the only
Mantle didn't have the dominance that
yeah.
Ruth had, and I know what Mantle did in the playoffs and the World Series, and he just elevated his game and stuff. But he had some big time competition, between Aaron and Mays and
Yep.
Clemente and Jackie. So I don't know, but I
Seems like
agree. I mean, I'm speechless as to why Rogers Hornsby is not on the tips of more of our tongues.
yeah. Seems like for cards, there's only maybe, like, 5 players from each decade, I feel, that really get valued.
Not even decade, generation.
Yeah. The T206 has a ton, but that's 500 cards in there. And then the 50s and 60s has a lot, but 70s, 80s, 90s is not as much as 50s, 60s for sure.
So moving on, we have a 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio SGC6 sitting at 2,500 right now. When you look at it, I don't see many surface issues. Edges look clean, corners look clean. This is clearly not centered. This looks
Yeah.
like it's easily 80-20, maybe even 85-15 when I'm looking top to bottom. That top border just looks so thin. Um,
Yeah.
is
Corners
it
are
would you be able to get over owning this card? Like, would you be able to get over the eye appeal not being centered?
no. No, I wouldn't. I would wait for like a 3. I would like better than the 6. But if corners are your thing and you don't care about the centering as much, this corners are super sharp in this card. The only reason this is a 6 is because it's not centered. It looks like maybe a 7 or 8 if it was. So, it's really clean.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look up real quick. I wanted to look up the pop on this, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Wow. I haven't seen a public sale in this grade in 5 years. And the last one I see is from a PWCC auction in July of 2018, literally
What about a
one
PSA
day
6?
off, July 8th of 2018, one day over exactly 5 years ago. And exactly 5 years ago, this went for $1,000. Talk about a steal, huh?
Yeah. Everything's a steal 5 years ago, I feel like.
Yep. So check out this card. I would love to get your opinion. I would love to get the watcher's opinion. What do you guys think of this? 1940 play ball, Shoeless Joe Jackson, PSA 5. And this is a top 30% PWCC certified eye appeal. Currently, it's sitting at 3,800 right now. I want to know your thoughts on this. Shoeless Joe, 1940 play ball.
Yeah.
Obviously not a playing day card.
Yeah. I would love the image of him finishing the swing here. And I think Conlon took this image, famous photographer back in the early 1900s, took majority of the baseball photos that you see.
I'm going to go to some comments real quick if you don't mind. All right. So going back to where we left off, Matt said that there were so few action images from that time frame. And I believe we were still talking about either T206 or the Gaudis during
I think
that
he's talking
time.
about the Churchman there.
There you go. Yep. Ken in the house, sports card lesson says, "What's up, fellas?" Matthew says, "I also like how it's tobacco size. It's a steal. I think the total pop on the Churchman is 500. That sounds very low, Matt, for how often these cards pop up on these
Yeah.
auctions."
He said it's 351. If you look farther down, he looked it up. So it's
Wow.
even less.
Wow. Total PSA pop of the Churchman is 351. That's nuts to me because I feel like I see these
Yeah, I
pop
see
up
him a
all
lot.
the time. He said it's 10 times smaller than the Gaudis. They aren't scarce, but they are rare. Very true. They are not scarce. And I agree with you, Matt. Troy says that the Lou Gehrig suffered the most being overshadowed by Ruth, but they probably helped each other stat-wise batting back to back. Troy,
Yeah.
love your take on this, and I know we've talked about this on the show before. I agree. I mean, Gehrig, without a doubt, helped out Ruth, right? We know that Gehrig came along later in Ruth's career, but I'd imagine Ruth would have had more of like falling off stat wise if it wasn't for Gehrig. But yeah, without a doubt, I mean, and with Ruth being there, I mean, Gehrig was a monster, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
His
Gehrig
stats are
was like the
crazy.
size of Aaron Judge, or at least
Yeah.
that's how it looked, you know?
Yeah. Use that exhibit card of Lou Gehrig. His
Oh
legs are
yeah,
crazy.
where he's sitting next to the manager and like two other players.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. And floating heads he sees the Churchmans a lot in SGC. So I feel like I do too. But I do whenever I picture the Churchman, so I do see him in PSA. I think that's probably the same, maybe 10 or 20 Churchmans that are just continuously getting flipped and put up for auctions. That's the way it feels, but I could be wrong. So let's see. So yeah, this Shoeless Joe. I mean, look at this. Look at this. He's playing to an empty stadium. I mean, is it batting practice that he's in? Because I don't even see any people sitting there.
Yeah, I think I have the original photo of this somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't remember what it's from.
Wow.
But yeah, Conlon took this. He took a ton of photos of all the stars back in the early 1900s, like all the Gaudi Ruths. That one image of him swinging, that's Conlon.
Same photographer?
Uh-huh.
And what's the photographer's name?
I think it's like Jack Conlon.
Jack Conlon?
Might not be Jack. I know it's Conlon. Let's see. I think it's Conlon.
All right. So let's keep it moving. We have a whoo man. We have a 1947 Bond bred Jackie Robinson SGC1 sitting at 3,900 right now. And I tell you, this is not bad condition for an SGC1.
No, I think
I've
it
seen
looks
a lot worse,
really
worse
good.
looking ones.
Yeah. It has some creases, but it's not. It's a black and white card. I don't think it really takes away from anything.
Man, that's a beautiful card.
I like the ad on the back too with the bread. Just think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Whoo, you want to talk about a true rookie? This
Charles.
might be it.
Yeah. It was Charles Conlon. Had the wrong first name there.
Okay.
Yeah, these Bond breads you never see pop up. Definitely not in high grade because they're in the pack with the loaf of bread, so they're
Yeah.
always crushed, which it's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Just like the Cracker Jacks, it's cool to have little wear on them.
Yep. I agree. Mm. Beautiful card. Now, let me ask you. Same value. Would you take a 47 Bond bread or a 48, 49 leaf?
I like the leaf better because of the color, but I think at the price that this one is at right now, I would take the Bond bread. I think the quality of the leaf that I like, that would be this price. I think it's an SGC one as well, and I think I like the look of this SGC one Bond bread a lot better.
And the thing is too, it's like what I kind of think is when it comes to the Bond bread and the leaf, right? It's very similar to the Mickey Mantle, the 51 Bowman and the 52 Tops.
I don't think it's similar to me because
Well, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. So the vast majority of people in the hobby look at the 52 Tops mantle as the rookie, the same way everyone looks at the 48 leaf, 49 leaf as the rookie. However, here is this true rookie here. True rookie Bond bread. Wasn't pack pulled though, obviously, just like the
yeah,
1984 Michael Jordan star card was not pack pulled. But I
yeah,
think diehards will look at that Jordan card and be like, well, the 86 Fleer, even though it's much more iconic and much more recognized, the star card is the true rookie. So, what are your thoughts?
yeah. It's not pack pulled like you said. It's definitely it obviously predates the leaf. Um, so if you want earliest, this is the better option. But as far as like rookie card debate goes, the leaf will always have like it will always be Jackie's rookie card that everyone the mainstream one. I think the Bowman and Topps Mantle is kind of just I just think it's dumb. It's people who it's like people want to say it's a first Bowman, but like how it is in modern today, but that didn't exist. So it's
Yeah,
Mantle's first Topps card. You don't hear people calling the 52 Jackie a rookie card because it's his first Topps card.
yeah, yeah.
But it's something different. There's a lot less of these for sure. So if you're going for rarity and earliest, this is definitely what you would want to get over the leaf.
So let's go to the comments real quick. Troy says, Troy and Tom both say, yep, Charles Conlon is the name of the photographer. Matthew says that total SGC pop for Churchman Ruth is 146. Then he follows up with the total pop across both is over, or is that under 500?
Less.
Less than 500. Churchman is a good example of the difference between rarity and scarcity. Your sense of the pop based on auctions is usually flawed. That's a measure of scarcity. So, definitely, without a doubt, rarity is the number of copies that are out there, but
Mhm.
scarcity is the amount of copies that are available,
Right.
right? So, it's almost like I'm going to change it to a modern real quick,
Yeah.
but the Tom Brady championship ticket, contenders ticket,
Yeah.
um, the championship version, that's numbered out of 100, I believe.
Yeah.
And that thing didn't pop up for like 6 years. It didn't pop up. And then now I think it's like the same 2 or 3 copies have been sold like 12 times in the last
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. It's rare, but it's not scarce.
It's not scarce because anyone can get it because
There's
they're
one in every
constantly being
auction, yeah.
flipped. Yep.
It's that the PSA 10 Jordan is in there's 2 in every auction at, like, all the different auction houses at the same time, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Floating Heads says that the earliest card is the rookie in my book. So it sounds like Floating Heads is calling the Bond bread his rookie. Floating Heads said there's like 6 Bond breads though. Troy says, I think that image of Shula's Joe Jackson, the Type 1 photo, recently sold for over 90K. And listen, Troy usually knows his stuff with the Type 1 photos. He's my Type 1 guru. Um, Mookie says that the 49 Leaf and the 49 Bowman did for kids' collections what Jackie did for the game. Those cards integrated kids' card collections much more widely than the Bond card did. It's why I like them better. Mookie, very well said, my friend. Very well said. And I think that's why, regardless, we all know the 84 star card is the true rookie, whatever the case. But 86 Fleer card, what it did for basketball collecting in general, it just, it's one of the most iconic images in the world. Same thing with the 52 Tops mantle, right? Even though there was a 51 Bowman mantle, the set, the picture, the card, as recognizable as it is, I mean, 51 Bowman will never come close to 52 Tops mantle, in my opinion.
No.
Has it closed the gap, and will it continue to close the gap? Maybe, but I don't think it'll ever reach the ballpark that a 52 Tops mantle's in.
No.
I mean, a 52 Tops mantle is easily, obviously eye appeal dependent and whatnot. But if you're looking at a PSA 1 versus that PSA 1, it's easily 5x the value. If a PSA
Yeah.
1 Bowman goes for 8K, a PSA 1 52 Tops is probably going to be between 35 and 40, depending on eye appeal. So,
Yeah. I think for the tops, I think people are I always think that the collectors are scared to pay more for the not the rookie card, like the 52 isn't his rookie, so they just seem to call it that to
yeah,
justify the price difference for some reason, but it's
yeah,
fine if the market says it's worth more, it's worth more whether it's a rookie or not. I don't think it really matters.
yeah. No, well said. So we have a couple exhibits here. We have a Mickey Mantle exhibit, SGC 4.5, sitting at 250. We have an exhibit Jackie Robinson. This is going SGC 1 going for 155. It's got some tape marks on it, hence why it's definitely better to be graded with SGC because they won't put a qualifier on there. Looks like it might have come from the same collection because it looks like they're both SGC old holders. So that would just be my quick assumption. We have a Stan the Man rookie, 48 Bowman, PSA 4.5, sitting at 1425. 48 Leaf, Joe DiMaggio, SGC 3, sitting at 1225. Then we have a Jackie Robinson, 49 Bowman, PSA 2, sitting at 3200. Guys, get those bids in if you are bidding on anything. If not, then just continue to sit back and enjoy the show. It is 10:30 exactly East Coast time right now. So we definitely spent I don't was it last week when I was on with Adam that we spent a good amount of time talking about the 49 Bowman? It wasn't with you, right, Jonah?
No.
Okay, so a lot of people consider this, part 2 of the rookie card
Yep.
because, people love to point out that the Leaf card was not actually released until 1949, which
Yeah.
would then make this the rookie's counterpart.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, the hobby does clearly say the Leaf is the rookie.
Mhm. Yeah. I think it's similar to kind of like what we were debating on the 52, 51 Bowman Mantle.
Yep.
Like the Mantle has the history. It's going to be the 52 is going to be worth way more. It'll always be that way. The gap may change, might not, who knows, but it'll always be worth more. I think we can all say that. And I think the Leaf will always be considered Jackie's rookie over this Bowman. And even though there's some technicality here I think most season collectors say Leaf is 49, but I guess just since they were unsure in the beginning, they printed 48 to 49, and PSA still does only 48. That the Leaf will always be the rookie card for Jackie, and I don't think the prices will ever reflect the uncertainty on the years there.
Yeah, yeah. No, well said, man. And so the Jackie, the 49 Bowman, the PSA 3, that has a total pop of 162.
Mhm.
162. In which sorry, this is a PSA 2, my fault. So this is a PSA 2. So the total pop on a PSA 2, very similar, 158.
Yeah,
So we're looking at 158 for a pop. And this card actually, I love how bright the borders appear to be because I feel like a lot of these cards I do see some yellowing
there's
in.
lots of toning on the 49
Yeah.
Bowmans for sure. I have one of these at PSA right now, actually. So
49 Jackie.
yeah,
Nice. Nice.
gotta hold it raw. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So moving along, we have a 48 Stan the Man rookie, PSA 5. This is Leaf sitting at 4,800. We have a 49 Bowman Satchel Page, which looks like it's sold. PSA 4, it's sold with
Wow.
yeah, it looks like 4,800 it sold for. So then we have a 51 Bowman Monty Irvin rookie. This is sitting at 330 right now. It looks like this can't be sold for 252 with buyer's premium. We have a 52 Tops Jackie. Finally, took us all night to get here. Here we are. 52 Tops Jackie, PSA 2. And this is a PWCC certified eye appeal rating, top 30%. Look at this freaking card.
Yeah, I've seen this one sell before on PWCC.
Now, if you look, you have to look closely, but it's got a bit of a crease going right here. So it's got a crease. But overall, a very sharp card. It's not perfectly centered. It looks like top to bottom, it's 80-20. But right to left, though, it looks like it's probably 55-45.
Yeah,
Looks like it might have a slight tilt. Definitely has a tilt.
on the top is what you're looking at.
What, as far as the tilt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
that
I'm
is
looking
that
up
where you
right
see the
here
tilt?
going all the way down. This just looks like it's got more
Yeah, I
more
see it.
real estate right here, right?
Yeah, yeah. The top line is always tilted, but I see what you're saying about the top left looks less skinny than
Yeah.
the bottom
I
left.
could be I could be wrong,
Yeah, I
but
agree with you. I think I would assume it's got the A for the color because the centering's
and the registration looks incredible.
yeah, because obviously there's this pretty large crease, and the centering's off top to bottom, but left to right is solid, and then the color and registration is really good here.
That Ty Cobb is now up to 12.5
The
without
turkey
buyer's
red.
premium. All right. So it looks like this 53 tops mantle went for 39.60. Let's read
That was a pretty big sale in it too, I think.
with the mantle.
Yeah, I think they go for, like, closer to 3K instead of 4 usually.
All right, so let's see what is still active right now. Boy, that took a quick jump. Went from this Ty Cobb to the Joe DiMaggio, but look at this thing.
Yeah, I thought it would do more than what it was at, closer to 15, maybe
I
higher.
mean, it's gonna be at
Yeah,
15 after buyer's premium.
yeah.
But then we have a 53 tops Willie Mays short print, PSA 5.5. Look at this, 8250 right now. Wow.
Oh,
This has got to be one of my favorite Willie Mays cards.
yeah, I love him, like, fielding the ball right there.
Man. Then we have some more Mays. Look at this. PSA 9, 13K right now for a 59 tops Willie Mays PSA 9. Man. Could you imagine? Now I'm curious, do you think it's the same bidders going after like same guys going after these two cards right here, these Maze cards?
I would say no. I feel like the 9s are always, like, pop, the registry guys.
Yeah.
5.5 can be your everyday collector. I don't think many everyday collectors collect 9s of
Yeah.
the top tier Hall of Famers. Or
Well,
the
looks like I've been outbid on this Lou Alcindor.
I saw that you bid on that. Or you
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't
weren't really going for it, you just
for
tossed
what
a bid in?
I mean, I was going for it, but I mean, I'm not going for it.
Uh-huh.
The crazy thing is first of all, there's a couple signed ones on this auction, but he charges 1,000 just to sign one of these.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that before. He charges based on, like, how good the card looks as well,
Yeah,
condition-wise. You get
which
the
is crazy because you're not going to crack out a card in front of him.
yeah,
You're going to have it already cracked out.
right.
So how does he know what it's well, how do his people know what it was graded?
Yeah, you get the Jabbar sports card label.
Seriously. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, best
Uh,
bet's buying that probably already graded.
what was that?
I bet the best bet for those now is just buying it already graded instead of having
Yeah,
him sign in person
yeah,
value-wise. He signs a lot too for those, I know.
yeah, and he will be at National.
Are you gonna get one of those autographs in person at National?
No, I think, if anything, I'm just gonna buy one that someone, you know, I could. I know I can probably get one not in the greatest condition, but I know I could probably get one for $1,000. So I'll keep looking. I'll keep my eye out for the right one. It's not even about getting one for a certain price. It's about getting the right one though. And when I see it, I'll know it.
Yeah.
So yes, this thing was like, I'm going for it, but I'm not really going for it, kind of thing.
Mhm.
The autograph just, I mean, the card itself looks good. This one right here, I mean, and you could always tell by the centering on these are
Yeah.
always
It's really
really
tight.
tough because you
Yeah.
could perfectly tell right here.
Yeah. It's a little sliver on these.
Yep. So yeah. So I put some boxing cards in here. I'm not sure if you saw some of these. Some
Yeah,
of
I
these
saw
look
the Judy Johnsons are pretty cool.
incredible.
Yeah.
So yep. So we have the Jack Johnson. Then you come down here, we have another 1910 Jack Johnson. Then we have the Joe Louis rookie. Now, I can't imagine this is his first ever card, though, because a Joe Louis would go for much more than
Mhm.
185 in that condition.
I think his mainstream is the Leaf. I don't know a ton
I
about the
think you're
boxing,
probably right.
but I know his Leaf goes for big money. Maybe it's kinda similar to,
Yeah.
the Jackie, all the just the Leaf set just brings up the value. I had a Sugar Ray from that set a while back.
All right. So we're going to refresh this page. Let's see. Look at this Ed Reagan right here.
I think those Southern League cards always go for a premium. They're more rare. That's pretty high grade too.
So I am trying to find something on my phone right now, but a lot of these cards are already going off. So let me see. I'm going to click all items. Whoo, what's going on over there?
I had to put my charger in my computer fell.
That maze just hit 9K.
Wow.
All right, let's see. Listen, I'm still not thrilled with this PWCC website. I'm not going to lie.
Those pop-ups are still kind of pretty
No,
annoying.
between the pop-ups and the fact that when I'm trying to filter things out, I feel like things just like disappear.
Yeah. It's always hard for me to remember to find where like my favorites are as well for some reason.
This maze right here sitting at 14K.
Wow.
So let me do a little digging on this card. So this PSA 9 is a pop 46.
It's pretty high for a 9.
Pop 46. But here's the thing. I bet there's even less than those out there. Because I bet it's been attempted many times to crack it out and resubmit in hopes of getting a 10. That would be my guess. Now, the all-time high price on this card is actually what it last sold for. So the last time a PSA 9 of a 59 tops maze sold was over a year ago. It was February of 22. So it was about 15 months ago. So that's the last comp, and that sold for 18K. Last comp is 18K, and this is
like one bid
rapidly
short.
approaching that.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's like one bid short of that 18K mark, maybe two.
Pop 46. And like I said, I don't even know if I would trust that 46. For all we know, there could be 35 or 40.
How many 10s are there? Do you know?
What was that?
Do you know how many 10s there are?
Yes. So no, don't. There might not be any.
Huh.
Yeah, there might not be any.
What website do you use to get the pops? Are you on Card Ladder?
Yep. The last sale of a 10 was over 5 years ago on Heritage. And that sold for 41K. And that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I would definitely.
So this is a
more.
$500,000 card right now.
Yeah, I would do
a 10.
More.
Man. 53 May still going strong at 9K. PSA 5.5.
There's 5 10s. I looked it up.
5 10s?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, man. And I would hope that those 10s came legitly. You know what I mean? And it's not because
Yeah.
they cracked it out and trimmed them.
Yeah.
It sucks that you think that, but it's but how can I not?
Yeah, I think that about most of those old 9s and 10s.
So, is there anything else that is out there that maybe I am not seeing or I have not pulled up? If there is, definitely let me know and I will pull it up ASAP.
This Turkey Red's still going pretty strong.
Yep. So, one card that I just added, man, talk about a grail. This is Jim Brown
Yeah. I really
on
like
card
when
auto.
he signs them, yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, I really like when they're signed by him. I just always love the on-card autos just like you do.
Let me just say though that this holder is going to drag down the value of this card.
Yeah.
I mean, where do I begin?
That's
First
like
of all,
the first one, right? Like their very original PSA DNA holder.
looks like it. Looks like it. Yep, they were like a royal blue.
Yeah.
So it's in a very, very, very old holder, first of all. Second of all, it's labeled trading card. So what does that mean? Is this a legit 59 tops?
Yeah.
I would imagine so. I would imagine it is, but how do I know?
Yeah.
Because the authenticator, the third party grading service did not tell me it's a 59 tops.
Right.
So there's that. Then Gem Mint 10. Is the card a Gem Mint 10? Is the auto a Gem Mint 10? I mean, because if you're telling me that this is a 59 tops, Jim Brown PSA 10, this card would be going for a lot more than that, which leads me to think like, okay, well, is this a 59 top? And these are just questions I'm asking out loud. You know what I mean? But regardless, the value of this card is going to be dragged down dramatically because of those reasons.
Hmm.
And for that reason, I wouldn't even bid on this.
Really?
Yeah, me personally.
Hmm. Is it just because you don't want to take the time
All
to
those
get it
questions.
reslabbed, or is it you're
No,
you
I
you'd
don't
be
mind an
concerned?
old I don't mind an old slab. I don't mind an old slab at all. But I need concrete proof or as much proof as I can get from PSA that this is a 59 tops. Because check this out, okay? I'm going to look up. Let's see. All right, did I say 59?
Yeah, 58.
Yeah,
Yeah.
58. Sorry. Um, let me see. So I am just looking up right now what a so an auto, a 58 Jim Brown auto, PSA 7 with an auto grade of a 10 recently sold last week, 2 weeks ago. You know what it went for?
What PSA grade was it?
PSA 7 with
Wow.
a 10 auto.
Uh, I'll go 25K.
Close. 33K. So, in my mind, what am I looking at here?
Hmm.
This is not a 58 tops. That's the only thing I can think of. Because how would it be a Gem Mint 10? And here's the thing, if it's just a regular card, if it's like a reprint card, or a card that like sometimes athletes will bring to shows just so they have something to sign for people. If that was the case, then why is PSA giving it a Gem Mint 10 grade?
The 10, I think, on those is always for the auto.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely for the auto. And this set is infamous for being off-centered.
Yeah.
Miscut, the whole nine. And you can tell this isn't perfectly centered, which leads me to think, like, is it real?
I would assume it's real. But I'm not the one paying the $3,000 for it.
I know. All right. So let's see if there has been any updates on the cards we've been watching so far. It looks like the Ed Regan finally sold at $27.60 with buyer's premium. The old mill back. Trish Speaker still alive and well. This Cobb right now, 1910 T3 turkey red Thai Cobb with the checklist back. Number 9, SGC 3.5, sitting at 14K right now.
I like when they have the turkey red backs better. Like the ad back is turkey red. I think it's a good image.
I don't know, man. I mean, that checklist back looks really, really cool.
Turkey red back.
I think just checklists in general are super underappreciated, undervalued. I mean, I love seeing a list of all the other players.
The turkey red cigarettes like font is really nice to me. It's like
Yeah.
a monster. I'm unsure if the turkey red back is on the Thai Cobb card in any of them. They might only be the
Checklist.
checklists.
We have the 1960 Hemit's Journal, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali rookie.
Yeah.
PSA 3 sitting at 3,500.
You owned one of those a while ago, right? Or do you
I
still own it?
did, and you know what? I just moved it about 2 months ago. Yep, just moved it 2 months ago. I miss it. I would love to get another copy.
Yeah, I've looked into those a little bit as well.
He was only 18 years old in this, fighting in the Olympics.
Is that his first card?
Oh yeah. Yep. That's his first card. It was actually cut out of a magazine. It was a journal. It was like a newspaper magazine type thing. Hemit's Journal. It was
Yeah, I've
called.
seen the journals with it still in the page on eBay before.
Wow, have you really?
Yeah. The paper's usually like wrinkled and stuff, but you could cut it out if you want.
Yep. Yeah, and his first the card after that, the first card he had after that, I think was 6 years later, 1966, American card. So he didn't have an American card made of him till 66, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 1960. I mean, talk about this Ty Cobb sitting at 14.5 right now. Guys, if anyone here is bidding on any cards, and you win, definitely let us know. Share your stories, share your successes, share your wins. We love to hear them. It looks like this Trish Speaker just sold with buyer's premium, $900 out the door. Well, obviously, Trish Speaker is an absolute legend, one of the greatest ever.
Yep.
Not a huge fan of this card.
Just
Just, I'm not a huge fan of the pose is what I'm saying, I guess. I
Mhm,
think like I love how, bat on shoulder, bat off shoulder. I love all those all those pictures. I mean, with this, he's not looking anywhere near the camera. It's obviously an action shot, which is cool, but the bat isn't on the card, just I don't know. I mean, it's a unique looking one. His body's not centered, it's almost tilted. It's almost like they wanted to experiment with some of these poses, and his was one of them, but I'm not a
mhm.
fan. Although it's sure speaker though, so you can't go wrong with him. All right. So let's get to some of these comments. So floating heads, when we were talking about I believe the mantle. He said 51 and 52 Bowman are such pretty cards though with the backgrounds. I agree, man. Tom Grant says that Joe Lewis has lots of supposed rookie cards. Floating Heads said, "Damn, they didn't pay for the authentication on that Jimmy Brown." Tom Grant says the 1947 picture pack Jackie Robinson. Is that in this auction right now?
I didn't see it.
I
I
didn't see it
searched
either.
Jackie.
Uh, Saba Tarth says, so what does auto grade only mean? Troy says that the 58 Brown card is authentic with a 10 auto. Signature is off the card and should be an auto 9. Matthew says, I love that speaker. The blue is cool and the Boston is eye catching. Matthew, you're not wrong. You are definitely not wrong, Matthew. It's a cool card. I think when you compare it, like I said, to some of the other bat off shoulder, glove to chest, all those types of cards, I think it's not even in the same league as those, in my opinion, as far as poses go. Troy says, Rob, do you still have your Dr. J signed rookie? You can get him at National for 300. Would be a little cheaper than the Alcindor rookie. I do. I do. I have it right here. But yeah, I mean that could definitely be a play though, Troy. Just trying to load up on um, trying to load up on some really nice eye appeal Dr. J's and just get a bunch of them signed. I know I overpaid for that Dr. J and I knew I was. I was looking at that. I was looking at what, previous comps have been, and I paid probably 25% over comps just because I really wanted that Dr. J. For me it was great eye appeal, and I had the opportunity to pull the trigger right then and there. It was at a card show. Guy had it in his case. And the
Mhm,
guy's actually an actor in Hollywood who does it. He sets up in the New Jersey area sometimes. He was in Sopranos. He's been in a ton of Boardwalk Empire, this guy, and
mhm.
I've talked to him about coming on my podcast. He said he's like, yeah, come on anytime, but um, I should get him on now that I'm thinking about it. So maybe I'll DM him. But yeah, that's who I got it from. So
Do you worry about the guys who are still signing a lot now, like Dr. J and Griffey and Kareem, that the values of those will go down, like Nolan Ryan too, because they're always signing like long term
um
ones.
I mean,
Like, do you think they'll get cheaper, like a little, like some, or do you think it'll kind of
mm,
just stay
I
steady?
I think that's probably likely to happen, but I'm fine with that because for most of my cards, I bought them because I love the cards,
Yeah,
and I'm not looking at it as my retirement. Obviously I am looking at the financial aspect of
yeah.
it.
You obviously don't want to lose. I don't think the Dr. J is not a crazy amount of money that you would just be killed on either, right?
No, no,
I
definitely.
remember the first Griffey Upper Deck 1010 sold for like, I think at that peak it sold for like 50K. I mean, it was a pop one, but
What?
now it's a much higher pop and sells for like 6K.
Wow. Yeah, definitely a lot of horror stories there. That's for sure. So Matthew says, "Is it Trish Speaker's best card?" In my opinion, it is. Yeah, I mean, probably is, right?
He's a
You know,
Cracker Jack, and
I
then
like his Cracker Jack. I like the Cracker Jack for sure, but even that one, isn't he kind of like looking off to the side? So even that one, he's kind of like it's almost like a side profile of him. The image I have in my mind of the Cracker Jack card. I know he's got a bunch of hand cut cards, and he's got some turkey red cards himself, Trish Speaker. So yeah, I mean, I think probably the T206 is his most important card.
yeah, his Cracker Jack looks pretty bad.
Does it?
Yeah, he's like hunched over to the side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Floating Head says, "Are you talking Steve Buscemi from Boardwalk and Sopranos?" No, but Floating Head's great. Great observation there. Because he was in both for sure. No, I'm talking about. His name is Adam Mucci, and he's fine with me talking about who he is. He was he married Johnny Sack's wife on The Sopranos. So that episode where Johnny Sack got let out of prison for a day to go to his daughter's wedding and then they arrested him like right as they, during the ceremony or whatever. He or during the reception. Is it reception or ceremony? Reception. Yeah, he played that role, and then he also played the bad cop in Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. He played the cop that was like smacking around John Dillinger's girlfriend. So, but he sets up at a lot of shows in New York, New Jersey. He's a big sports card guy. Loves vintage. Loves vintage. That's all he deals in is vintage. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Really nice guy too. Matthew says his Cracker Jack is okay. I prefer the striking blue of that T206. And Floating Head says I recognize that guy. Yep, yep. So he sets up, like I said, New Jersey, New York shows. I see him quite often. I text him every now and then, but and he's still acting. He's still acting. He's got his own IMDb page and all that good stuff. So let's see. Wow. It is 11:03 East Coast time. 11:03. Thank you to everyone who has stayed with us and who is with us every week. It's so much appreciated. We love being able to spend some time with you guys and talk cards and talk the history of the greatest sports on earth and talk about these legends. And speaking of legends, this Ty Cobb Turkey Red sold 18.6 with buyer's premium. $18,600. Congratulations to whoever bought that. It's one of those items that if I won that, it would never hit the market again. I would
Yeah,
own that forever.
I don't see them for sale often.
Me neither.
There's not many though. There's a total pop on PSA is 106.
Yeah, yeah. Mookie Chilson. He says everyone knows a soprano in Jersey. Phil Leotardo is my condo president, dude. The Phil Leotardo death in Sopranos was one of the best pieces of television I've ever seen. I mean, just Phil Leotardo, the character for those couple seasons in Sopranos, he was unbelievable. One of the greatest. I mean, Sopranos was just a cut above everything. I mean, hands down. I
I'm
don't even
watching
know.
it.
What was that?
I'm watching Sopranos right now for the
Get
first
out
time.
of here.
Yeah,
Is it your first time ever?
yeah,
You started it from the beginning?
yeah.
Okay. What season are you on?
I'm on season 3.
Listen, things only get crazier. So I've watched, and we'll get back to cards in a second, guys. So I watched Sopranos, I think 3 times all the way through now, and every time it gets better and better, and every single time, I'm picking up on so many things. It's almost like I'm watching it for the first time again. There's
Yeah,
so many layers to it, and I can't ever think of a show that developed the character development on The Sopranos. They honestly probably developed almost 40 or more characters over the course of the, like, I'm talking about full backstories. You
Mhm.
knew if they're married, you knew if they had kids, you knew where they came from, you know if they were made or not, you knew if this, you knew if that. I think about shows that are maybe in like a distant second place, like Breaking Bad, and it's
Yeah,
like they
that's
they
really good.
literally developed 6 characters, period, that entire show. Like, The Sopranos developed well over 50.
Yeah.
It was the best writing I've ever seen for sure. People are saying, "Don't spoil it, don't spoil it." Sopranos versus The Wire. Matthew, I've never watched The Wire before. I've never watched The Wire, and it's been on my bucket list for years to do it. But I know what I'm getting into when I start a new series. You know what you're getting into. You're getting into a completely different world that you need to make sure you're dedicating your time, energy, and mental capacity to. And I haven't done it with The Wire yet. Um, Floating Head said, "I'm about to start my 5th time after my 3rd Wire watch through." What? So you've watched Sopranos 4 times already, and now you're on 3 for The Wire. Matthew says, "I gotta go The Wire, but it's close." Mookie says, "Frank Vincent as Phil Leotardo in Sopranos and Billy Batts in Goodfellas. The guy knew how to get killed on screen." I know, I know. I'm sorry, Matthew. Guys, you guys are awesome. You guys are. I love how you guys. The chat really heats up when it comes to the movies. I love it. Um, but yeah, Jonah, man, The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
liking
there
it. Yeah, it's good. I'm
it's
it's
and it's almost like there's just so much going on, and I love how they'll reference things, like something will just kind of randomly happen in season 1, and then, like, in season 4, they reference it.
mm,
And it's like, unless you were just, like, razor sharp precision, like, you don't pick up on all the references they're making, but every single piece of dialogue in The Sopranos, there's not a single word that's wasted. They literally took their time dissecting every single word. You know what I mean? It's like none of it is filler. None of it is fluff. Everything means something. It's either building on something or
yeah.
referencing a past thing to build on something new. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't just have it on. You gotta pay attention while you're watching it, or you're gonna miss the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah. So Matthew says The Wire is the best show of all time. My guy Tim says Sopranos is the GOAT. Mookie says, "I've never watched The Wire either. I know I would love it though. Big commitment." I agree. I agree. And the thing is with me, like, if I had, if I knew I had a month of just straight TV time to binge stuff, I would probably watch The Sopranos a 4th time rather than watching The Wire once. I just, The Sopranos is just, it's just everything. It's just unbelievable. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even watch it when it was being released. A lot of you guys that are in the comments right now, um, probably watched The Sopranos in real time, and I could remember always hearing about The Sopranos. I always remember hearing about it every day on Monday because I think it was a Sunday night HBO show, and every Monday, that's all people would talk about. When I was like in high school, or no, I had just graduated high school. It's like I had other things going on, but like, and then I remember with the ending, and I'm not going to say anything, but like it's like the world stopped. People still talk about the ending to this day. Um, so Matthew says, "I feel like I need to lock Rob in his hotel room at the National and force him to watch The Wire. That's how disturbed I am by this. You're killing me, dude." Matthew, I know, man. Listen, I know, but Matthew's definitely one of the ones. I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys for sure, you know. But Matthew, I'm definitely looking forward to meet you in person. Even though Matthew, I feel like I've known you for years. So I'm gonna be set up at National. I'm gonna be there all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday. I don't know my booth number off the top of my head, but I'm going to be set up for 3 straight days, and I know I'm going to be set up right near the corporate booths. So I'm going to be like right there near corporate, and I think leading into the autograph area. So I'm pretty sure I have a really good prime spot. Friday night, I'm hosting a trade night. I'm putting on a trade night with me and my fellow Wolfpack members. And we're doing a trade night Friday night right across the street at the Crown Plaza Hotel. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure probably at least half of you that are watching this right now are going, which is awesome. I know Jonah, you're opting out, even though you have, even though you just sold to Aaron and you're sitting on a stack of money. It's usually when people can't go, it's like, well, it's either time or it's money. So I'm going to assume it's time with you, which is
Yeah,
totally understandable. Totally understandable.
my vacation is pretty low right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, but there's
I'll go.
plenty
I'll
there's gonna
definitely
be
go soon, hopefully.
there's going to be plenty more nationals to go
Mhm.
to, plenty more nationals. So Troy says that in Goodfellas, Ray Liotta had the best laugh ever. Mookie Chilson says it was the Sunday night HBO show. It created a genre of appointment TV on HBO Sunday. Mookie, I think you're right, man. And the character of Tony Soprano, it basically, there's so much that, I mean, it changed television, right? The character, the show, everything. And before that, you didn't have a lot of bad guys. What do they call
Mhm.
it? The anti-hero?
Yeah.
Like,
There's no,
you didn't
like,
have a lot of bad guys that you end up rooting for.
yeah, like
And
Breaking Bad kinda
oh
took
yeah.
that too, yeah.
And Breaking Bad and Bryan Cranston, he always gives Sopranos their flowers. They're like, listen, without
Mhm.
Sopranos, there would have been no Breaking Bad, which is crazy when you think about it, like, but well, Mookie, I appreciate you. Mookie says that this live stream is now my Sunday appointment. Well, I appreciate that very much, man. And hopefully it will continue to be once football season starts. You just mute the football, watch us, mute us, watch football, whatever you got to do. But yeah, listen, we're excited. We're happy to be here. Jonah, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just enjoyed the show and then enjoyed talking Sopranos, and I'll get more into it. And I did wanna, if you can search, just wanted to show one card that I
Yeah.
liked on PWCC recently. If you go in, like, the sales history and search 1952 Jackie PSA 5.
Let me see. 1952 Tops Jackie PSA 5.
Mhm.
Woo! All right, hold on. Wow.
Yeah, this was in the premiere auction that ended on Thursday, and if I had the money for this one, this would be the copy I would go for. It was just absolutely stunning. It looks like a near mint to mint copy just from eye appeal wise. And it did like 2x the all-time high. I think it was like 25K. So
Wow.
it definitely, it got, the price went for what it should have, in my opinion. It was definitely deserving of smashing the all-time record.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I was hoping it would go for what a 5 would do. I would probably reach for it, but it definitely did not.
Wow. Could you imagine owning that?
I thought about it, but my bank account said otherwise after after 1 week of the bidding.
What's crazy is the video image looks even better than the picture image.
Yeah, I mean it looks near mint to me, like just by your eye. I think there was like some super small like corner like little dog ear or like something on the back too that was on the corner, but you don't care about that when you're looking at it in your hand.
Wow. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for showing us that, man. That's phenomenal. Whew. Man, what a way to end this stream. Man. So, all right. So, what you are telling us is that your chase card at this point is the 48 Leaf Jackie
Or 52.
or 52.
Yeah. Whichever comes first, that looks like.
Now, you've owned a 52
Yeah.
already, right?
Yeah, it just wasn't my. It had a little wrinkle, and
It wasn't your forever copy.
yeah, it wasn't my favorite copy. It was.
Mhm.
It wasn't bad. I definitely liked it.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. We are looking forward to watching you chase that. That's for sure.
Yep. I'm hoping some more cards come out that look like that last one, but
Yeah.
they're lower grade.
Yeah, I would imagine so, man. I would imagine so. Well, again, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for participating in the chat. And even if you weren't in the chat and you are just watching, thank you very much. We cannot do this without you. Shout out to PWCC for the partnership, and much love to Adam from Wise Guy Sports Cards, who is not here with us tonight, but I believe will be back next week. And Jonah, much love to you. Thank you so much for coming on and staying the whole hour and 50 minutes, my friend.
Had a blast.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Any final words, Jonah, before we wrap up?
Just enjoyed the night talking with y'all, and hope you guys can find some good cards to add to your collection.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, take care of yourselves and your collection. Have a good one.